There we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the JMA Podcast. I'm Jeremy Fairhurst. We're going to be sitting down with Kestin McClain today. He just got through with his LFA debut, is now 5-0 as a pro. But before we get to that, I want to run into a quick news segment. Uh, Guys, just a couple segments over the UFC stuff that's been going on. We've got some interesting conversations happening in some of these pressers and behind the scenes. Number one, Paulo Costa has been taken to social media venting frustration about being unable to find a matchup. He claimed on Twitter that he has been looking for fights at three separate weight classes since winning in April and keeps being told to wait. Now this was a little bit interesting. I wanted to say, he said, since I defeated Azamat in April, I've been looking for the next fight. I've eventually opened the door to fight a heavyweight. UFC told me to wait. Here we are. It's already July, and I'm still looking to fight someone else at light heavyweight, middleweight, or even heavyweight. But the answer from UFC by Hunter Campbell is the same. Wait. I want to fight. I don't want to wait. I have just one more fight at my contract, and I want this fight happen soon, but for some reason, they don't. Now, that was last edited, according to that screenshot, June 26th. So, very interesting because this is a lot of the same problems that we've been hearing, like one having, where they're having, and I mean, I'm not saying that it's not like going to be a widespread, obviously, like one. I think more than likely, like, Paulo is very inconsistent. So, it's also fair to say, I mean, with the amount of cancellations and stuff that he's had, that there might be a little bit hesitant to jump and try to put him on the platform. But I mean, like as he's coming off of a win, it seems like he's turned that stuff around. So it's very interesting to hear that clash happening. But moving on from that, we have I think the biggest controversy coming out of the UFC right now is still this Herb Dean controversy, and that has continued on into last week's event. Both Big John McCarthy and Brendan Schaub, two totally different people, but they've both spoken on the Herb Dean controversy. And what was interesting was that while Big John has continued to defend Herb and Brendan was a little bit more of a harsher critic, both of them have said that Herb appears to it is scared to step in and affect the outcome of these fights, even by taking points. Both Big John and Brendan Schaub have said in different interviews that Herb's like, and McCarthy was even saying that this is a concern and fear for most referees. Is they don't want to end up being the star of the show, right? So they're afraid that they're saying that he's afraid to come in and end up being too active. But Brendan Schaub's coming out and saying, "Yo, hold up, this is three events in a row. Something drastic has happened. This is your job. If you're too anxious to do it, don't be there." I kind of have to agree with even though Brendan Schaub sounds like a total crackpot half the time, I kind of have to agree with him more on this one. Is it's like if it was one thing, if the Piera thing, it's like okay, and then you've got the Magomed stuff. This was ridiculous. Not Magomed. When you had a Shara doing this last event, he's pulling hair, he's eye poking, he's doing all this, and the difference now is the fight actually would have ended if that Herb Dean had stepped in. So it's very interesting to or the fight would have been scored differently if Herb Dean had stepped in. Shara wouldn't have won if he'd had a point deducted. So it's very interesting to see where the line is going to be. And with the amount of attention and eyes on Herb, three events in a row, I'm hoping that, something smooths out. I don't think that he needs to lose his job or something. He's been in the sport forever, but it's definitely starting to get a lot of negative attention. And even Dana White was coming out and saying that he wasn't sure if Herb had lost his touch or not. And if that's the case, that's the closest to a no that that's the closest to a yes that you're going to get from him on camera. Speaking of Dana White on camera, normally it's him and Eddie Hearn beefing nowadays, but now it is Eddie Hearn and Michael Bisping both bashing the other over Bisping's comments on Tom Aspinall. Specifically his inactivity with his injury and the timing of that inactivity alongside Aspinall's new relationship with Eddie Hearn. And this turned into like a giant ordeal. Eddie started saying that basically Bisping was part of the company and so he should be ashamed of himself and that's why he's not really speaking on fighter pay and that he should be ashamed of how much Tom Aspinall was going to make versus Gone and this and that and the other. And Michael honestly, guys, this was just a lot of posturing posturing. Holy crap. Posturing on both sides. Uh, why is my microphone's breaking up really bad? Okay. I'm going. Sorry about that, guys. We've been having some technical difficulties with the set, so I got a notification that my mic was breaking up. Um, but yeah, so basically the Eddie Hearn Michael Bisping situation. It's just very. It seemed like a lot of posturing. Eddie Hearn like invited Bisping to do this live debate with him about fighter pay and some weird internet gimmick that Bisping doesn't give a shit about. And then Bisping went on to say that he wouldn't do that, but that he would sit down and talk to him face to face because he wouldn't talk to Michael Bisping like that in person. And it's Michael threatening to beat up Eddie Hearn and Eddie Hearn saying he's smarter. And I just want to see Tom Aspinall fight. I really don't care what Michael Bisping or Eddie Hearn have to say about any of it. When are we going to see the heavyweight division in any sort of like reasonable state? Like it's been how many years now? That's really just kind of my comment on that. Moving on, guys. We're gonna go straight through. That was the news, the main news segment. So I don't want to hold up our guest any longer. We're going right at 7 minutes, guys. I would like to go ahead and introduce our host for the podcast, or our guest for the podcast, Kestin McClain. What's up,
What's
Kestin?
up, brother man? How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. I see you were just about to go into training and everything. How you been, man? You're already back in the gym working. Uh, how you been since the LFA win?
I celebrated my my accomplishment a little bit, and then my manager wanted to keep the ball rolling since we're going strong right now. So I got back in the gym yesterday, moving around a little bit. Woke up this morning, I ran 2 miles. You know, just I'm gonna spend the next week or so, probably putting in about 15 miles or so. Just get running, make sure that wind is still up, and then go right into preparations for how to defeat my opponent.
And so, you have another fight coming up already?
Yeah, I'm fighting on August 7th.
August. Okay, I seen you posting a little bit about that. What can you tell us about the August 7th fight?
I'm gonna be fighting on CFFC 158, and that's gonna be taking place in Cincinnati, Ohio. And I'm fighting another game opponent from Ohio, but but he yeah he's solid. He's not scared. He I guess I categorize him as a damage based fighter like myself. So I just expect it to just banging. If it's ugly, it's ugly. If it ain't, then it ain't. But I think it'll be a little bit. We're gonna be real greedy.
Okay. No, interesting. Man. So CCFC. So you stepped out of you did the LFA debut. You're stepping in, and you said it's gonna be 158. And I mean in Cincinnati, Ohio. Now you talked a little bit before about ahead of your last fight about the importance of being there for a fight instead of just being there for a competition. And so it's interesting to hear you say that you found another game opponent, so it's focused on damage. Because that seemed to be the big talk going into this last fight you just had was that this guy seemed to think that he could out wrestle you. He thought he had the right game plan. Of course, you went out and showed that that wasn't the case. Did you go out there with that intention? Did you want to beat him in his own game, or did that just kind of happen when you got out there?
Well, it kind of just happened that way. I went out there to go out striking and punching, but then when I felt him on the ground, even though he did, I'll give him like props though. He did an amazing job with attacking submissions and being very active off of his back and very active on bottom. Trying to trap me in places though, but I could definitely tell that was like a back burner type game plan. He expected to be on top of me, and he expected to be ground and pounding me or attacking me from dominant positions instead of, survival fighting. But I was having so much success with just controlling where the fight was and controlling him. I forgot that's why people wrestle in the fight, because you don't necessarily get tired. You get to just, make that person work. So I stepped out of the fight mindset and jumped into the game aspect of it, or the art, if you will. And I was having a good time, like a fun time for once. Like it felt like high school again, and it felt like competing at a tournament. It just seemed like fun, but I think that's only because I didn't take any damage.
That's crazy. The biggest platform that you've been on so far, and it feels like the pressure seems to be off almost. Like switching that mindset into something more competitive instead of oh yeah. I mean yeah, you were walking him down towards the end of that as you did. Oh, I remember that knee too. Dude, we were all sitting in JT's. Like, we had like that whole half of that building sat there watching this, man, and we were losing our minds. Like, half of Paducah was screaming at that bar, man, like every second of that fight. The following that you've had just continues to increase. So it's interesting seeing you fighting again locally in Ohio. What made you step out of LFA to a different promotion? Are you wanting to specifically stay a free agent and bounce around to multiple different organizations?
It wasn't really a matter of stepping out and trying to be a free agent or anything like that. It's just the fight that we signed with LFA was a one fight deal. They do have a card coming up in Clarksville as well, but it's just I liked I liked how CFFC is handling me, and I like how they approach me. I like what they're offering me, and it seems worth my while. It seems like they're treating me as if I'm just not another fighter. They're treating me as if, you know uh, they could help build me up, and that's what it's all about right now, where I'm at in my career. Because, like, with a 5-0 record, high finish rate, you could really get a call at any minute, at any moment. You know what I mean? So they're giving me a chance to get the experience on another bigger regional platform versus, a local platform. So that's really neat and that's really nice. But I ultimately went with them just because of how they're treating me, man. And the contract's really nice. We signed for 4 fights with them, and the first fight being August 7th. And they're telling me they'll keep me busy, they'll keep me paid. So that's definitely the route.
Okay, so you actually did a four. Now, how does that work? Are you like exclusive with them for the next 4 fights?
Only for regional. I mean, only for regional. So it's like, no, I can't do LFAs, or I can't do Fury, or like Cage Warriors. I can't do any of, like, the bigger promotion, the bigger feeder organizations. I'm their guy. You feel me? I'm their product. You feel me? Right now, until my 4 fights is up, I'm their product. So the only way that I could get out of that is if I complete the contract, or if I get a call from Dana White, or if I just simply ask to be released for something else. But I can do, like, local. It's just no other feeders, you know.
Okay, so you could do another like local MMA fight. You just can't do like on a national or like feeders.
Yeah,
Interest.
because I plan on doing Paducah this fall, unless they're fighting me. If I'm not being fought, then I'm probably gonna do Paducah this fall, just so,
Okay,
like, the people at home can see me out one more time before they can't never see it again.
Kingston's still in the show today, huh?
Yeah, he's just hanging out. He's a little warm, a little tired. He's hungry.
Man, it's so interesting. It's interesting hearing that CCFC is approached it. And again, like I'm still struggling a little bit to learn with some of these other organizations, but hearing the way that you're just driving them right off of the rip. And the way that they're approaching you, that's something that's definitely been a theme through a lot of these podcasts, a lot of the fighters that we've spoken to. It's a lot of how you're handled behind the scenes too. So it's very interesting to hear that they came to you with an offer like that. And congratulations, that's awesome, man.
Man, thank you, man. Like I said, bro, they just they may I don't know if they handle everybody like that. I assume that they do. That's why they most of the time when people fight for them, they typically stay there, until another opportunity presents itself. It's because like, man, I just felt like I wasn't being treated as if I was just another fighter. They treated me like I had value. Not saying that the LFA didn't, because the LFA was great to me. It was an awesome opportunity, completely comfortable. One of the most I can't say one of, because it was the most professional atmosphere I've ever been in. So it was second to none so far.
That was something I wanted to ask you. Yeah. Yeah, that was something I wanted to ask you about was what made LFA different, like behind the scenes? Was there anything that like really stood out to you that was different on a platform like that as opposed to like some of the regional ones you've been on? Not just like not necessarily like how they handled you and your contract personally, but just
Like, what's
like
different is what you're saying. What's
just
different?
like the overall experience.
What are you doing in there? They're training. But you want to go in there and look? Mm-hmm. You can go in there and look. I'll be in here. Um, for one, the media. You can go in there. It's cool. Tyler's in there. Everybody in there, the cool people. But the media, for one, the media team is crazy, dog. The photo shoots. Whoa. The hotels rooms. Whoa. They feed you when you get there. They feed you, bro. They feed you, bro. Dinner on them. It's crazy, bro. They dude, they put you in this room after you finish doing your face-off photo shoots, like, because you have media weigh-ins and then you have ceremonial weigh-ins. But before you do ceremonial weigh-ins, after you do media weigh-ins, they put you in this room and you talk with the whole broadcast crew and they document you, bro. Like, it's crazy, dog. It's crazy. Can you go there with me? Yeah, I'll go in there after I finish this. You want some of this water? It's cold. Okay. But yeah, man, that was crazy. And the pictures that they took there was cold, dog. It was cold. And the warm-up areas, dog. That was crazy, bro. Overly comfortable. I'm talking about, bro. You can control the temperature in the warm-up room. You ain't gotta warm up in no cold space if you don't want to. You can put it to whatever temperature you want in there.
That's so you had your own like warm up training area that you had
Dude,
access
they
to the
had
temperature.
all of us sectioned off by teams, bruh. That was
Always,
crazy.
so they fed you when you got there. They
Yes,
had
bro.
I gotta ask about the food.
Well, we ended up, I don't remember what I had. What did I have? Oh, yeah. I had this spot out here called Yummy Bowl because it's cheap, it's easy. I went with my boy Buck, and who else was with me? Buck was with me. Somebody else was with me too, though. Don't take it to the heart. I just forget, man. I forget a lot of stuff. But I know Buck was there. Damn it, he was there. Oh, it was Mike. It was Mike. It was me, Buck, and Mike.
Oh
We pulled up
yeah,
over there.
man,
Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot of my bad, I didn't mean to cut it off.
Was I? Not this time. You will be next.
My bad, I didn't mean to cut you off there. You said you went out there with Mike, and what was the other guy? Man,
It was me. It was Buck Thomas and Mike. Man, we went to Yummy Bowl, got some good food, and then with the rest of the money, since Yummy Bowl's like cheap, we went to the grocery store and started getting rehydrational things like pineapple, some bagels, some watermelon, some liquids IVs and all of that good stuff. Dada. Dude, I was like 168 pounds. Wait a second. I was like 168 pounds, 170 something pounds on fight day, on fight night. That was big as hell.
That's interesting. So that's interesting, man. So like you and I mean the weight, which I want to ask, what was the drama going in? And I don't want to touch on it too much, but I just what there was there a weight miss by like 0.5 pounds or some shit? I saw
No,
everybody was
I
pissed
missed
off. Like
5 pounds, but it's because it was a miscommunication between the commissioner and my corner. Like they told me I had like this is no hit at LFA or the commission or anything like that. But
yeah,
they
no,
told us that we had to be there at 11:30 because that's the time we had to be there. You know what I'm saying? That's where everybody else was weighing in and taking their photos. But them guys was already on weight. You feel me? So they were there. Me, I'm still cutting, but I'm cutting 20 minutes in this direction because I can't cut in my hotel room because my bath water wasn't warm enough and it wasn't making me sweat fast enough. So we had to leave. I had to go to my coach out here, Jason, and I had to he had to put me in his hot tub and his cold plunge. He was pushing me back and forth, boom, 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 to shave the weight off. So, but they're calling me. They're like, bro, it's 11:30. Keith's not here. Everybody was supposed to be here by 11. Ooh, y'all need to get here. So we head there, and by the time we get there, it's 11:50. Then they're like, yeah, man, we just didn't know what was going on. Essentially, this is not verbatim. You feel me? This is
well, yeah,
essentially.
you know, I
They're
got you.
like, well, we didn't know what was going on because it's a bigger promotion. Some people probably get cold feet and just don't say nothing and disappear or something. But they were like, yeah, man, the deadline is 12:30. I wish I wish we could have done it a little differently. I wish they would have just said, "Hey, you need to be here before the deadline at 12:30," because it was a pound. Like that's not nothing. But we left. It was about 11:50 when I made it. I get this information. It's about 12 already. His house is about 22 minutes this way. So we're heading there, and I'm like, man, dude, they said the deadline is at 12:30. Like, we just got to turn around. So I didn't even get to even attempt to finish cutting because it was wasted on the road. So we wasted 40 minutes going to the venue, traveling that way, and turn around to come back. So it's just that's 40 minutes I could have been sauning, cold plunging, hot tubbing, but you learn. And Gilbert Burns gave me some really good advice too, because he was really he's really cool, bro. He was just like, man, you getting up closer to these bigger shows. Every big show weigh in 11 a.m. Make weight 11 a.m. Don't worry about it. Just make weight. Get used to morning weigh-ins because that was also like my first legitimate thing going on. You know what I'm saying? So like typically weigh-ins ain't until 6 p.m. or 3 p.m. On local shows,
Yeah.
but they had that bad boy at 11 a.m. sharp, boy.
Did
They
you just
had
hold
media
on?
going on
Did
at
you
11:30 a.m. They
did
wanted
you
they had that shit hadn't, but now it makes sense. The reason why it had to be wrapped up by 12:30 is because this is just media weigh-ins. All the whole team that's here, the whole crew, they want to leave and get something to eat and do their own thing, and then they gotta come back and they gotta set up for ceremonial weigh-ins by 6 o'clock, and they need to have that thing up and ready for the fans to walk in and stuff like that. So
did okay? I just have to double check. Did you just casually name drop Gilbert Burns during that?
yeah, bro, it was really chill, man. He was real chill, bro. I actually
When did
bumped
you
into
meet
him like
Gilbert
three or
Burns?
four times. We took a picture together. He was part of the media team, so I genuinely got to have a real interaction with him. He got to like really meet me. If he see me again, he'll remember me for sure. He got to hear my story first on. So but yeah, we met up. We met up at the hotel after the fights. I seen him. I was on the way going to do my thing though, and he was in there just cooling. But yeah, man, casually he just took pictures with me. And he took
That's
pictures with my boy Buck, Mike. Yo, yeah.
that's awesome, man.
We
That's
gonna
that's phenomenal. Like I thought I'd seen something on your story or something about like you DM'd him or something, but I had no idea that he was
Yeah,
like part of
man.
the
Yeah,
team and
we we talked, bro, and he followed me on Instagram, man. He was just telling me like I can come up there and I can get work with him over there at his gym that he trains at Florida, Killcliff. He said the door's always open. Just pull up, let him know he'll be there or whatever. Woo, woo. Yeah, so like that's really dope too.
that's yeah, man, that's phenomenal. It seems like these opportunities just keep opening up,
Dude,
man.
he's a good dude, bro. He's so nice, bro. Like no ego. You know, a lot of these guys they be fake humble guy.
Yeah.
They be fake humble guy. I was saying that's the Khabib, bro. That's what Khabib said. I don't like that guy, fake humble guy. But like, nah, bro. He's legitimate. He's legitimately humble, bro. He's cool as hell, down to earth. Like, he's a good dude.
Well, man, that's awesome. Look, I mean, Keeson, we're about 26 minutes. I know that you said your stuff starts right at, I think, 7 is when training everything starts. It's right at, I think, right at 7 your time, right? So I don't want to
Yeah, it's just
get.
easing. We're just easing back into things. I can't go too hard because I don't want to like over push my body because like what is it, 5.5 weeks, 6 weeks? I mean, yeah. So like, I got plenty of time to get ready though, because this last fight, I got ready to fight Mark in 4 weeks. Even though like I found out about the fight, I got injured early in the camp training with my buddy Ethan in Memphis, BJJ, freaking got my ribs fucking cracked, so I couldn't sit up on my own. So I
I
like
remember
I
you.
had I had to, I had to doctor my ribs for like freaking 3.5 weeks, going on 4 weeks, and then it just got to a point where like I couldn't even spar. I sparred when there was 2 weeks left. Did all my wrestling when there was 2 weeks left. But shit, all I could do after them 3 weeks is I couldn't even really punch a bag or like run because it was that bad. Hell, I couldn't even sit up on my own. But shit, bro, I, that's why I spent most of my preparation doing was just running. After as soon as I could sit up on my own and twist like this, I already knew sparring and grappling was a wrap, bro. I couldn't even hit mitts. I was just running. That's why I was running so much, man. The week before my fight, I clocked 30 miles. The week before that, I did 20. The week before that, I did a 20. I did a lot of running, and I found confidence in like just knowing that this ain't no. That's like I told you when we had. This isn't no 4 week camp, 7 week, 6 week camp. This is my life. This is my lifestyle on the line since 2021. That's how long I've been skill building. So I just needed to get in shape and go do what I know how to do. And fortunate enough for me, it worked out.
It's crazy to see the hurdles that you can run into like off screen and when the camera is not. Because I remember you mentioning that before our last interview. You're like, yeah, like that you had been injured. You're like, don't mention it yet because obviously, like, you don't want to say something like that ahead of time, and then people
Yeah,
say, oh,
nah,
just
bro. This
excuses.
man
And
Ethan smoked my ribs, boy. He smoked them mugs. He smoked it like barbecue. All he had for me was a sorry, bro. That's all he had for me. Ethan Birmingham, when you see this, bro, you smoked my ribs, though. He knows, but I'm just giving him hell.
not fair enough, man. That's wild, dude. It's crazy that
He didn't mean
even
to,
with
though. It was an accident.
well, yeah, stuff like that. I'm sure it happening. I mean, we've seen dumb shit happen at the amateur level trying to get ready for local fights. I'm sure
Yeah.
all kinds of wild stuff can happen trying to get ready for an LFA debut. So, I mean, which sick hat by the way. I noticed that is a sick
Oh,
that
this
that
LFA
camo.
hat.
Yeah,
Yeah, this
that
is
goes hard.
awesome. I got this made after the fight. It says 235, 5-0. That's my last name. But since your boy signed that multi-fight deal with CFFC, I gotta give me a CFFC hat, man. Gotta start rocking where I'm at, man.
Well, that's gonna be awesome, dude. We're definitely gonna be tuning in. I think this is probably the perfect time to cut it, man. Thank you so much for coming on, giving us your time, and as always, man, just we appreciate having you on the platform, getting to talk to you as you go farther on into your career. Is there anybody you want to shout out or anything before we go?
Uh, JT Sports and Grill, Strickland Seafoods, DNS Auto Detailing, Sab Suds, Next Level, Starboat, Buck Thomas. I'm trying to make sure I ain't leaving no JNC Property Management. Um, Dude, it'd be a lot of them low key. Suing Sears with Devin Cofron. What's up, bro? And I think I got them all. I hope so. If I didn't, I love you.
Well, thanks a lot, Keiston. And again, we will uh, touch base with you soon. And thank you and congratulations so far on the amazing career. 5-0, man. Can't wait to see it grow.
Hey
All
man,
right,
thank
guys.
you.
Guys, this has been the JMA Podcast. If you like content like this, make sure that you like, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. All of our interviews, our podcast, all of that are happening on the YouTube channel. We're going to post all the reels and shorts and stuff like that to the socials. Guys, you're going to want to stay in tune for content just like this, exclusive interviews with your favorite fighters over at JMA Athletics. Thank you very much, and you guys have a wonderful night.
All right, brother man.